So I told Lefty I could front flip the mash, and he seemed a little skeptical. Haha, yeah, boy. Guys, thanks for checking out the video. My name is Dennis. This is EDC for Fun. Right now we are looking at the Divo Mash 2.5. This is a knife I've carried for a couple weeks now. I was fortunate enough to get in on the drop. I was actually on vacation when the drop happened. I was in Belize, but thankfully had good Wi-Fi and was able to get this in. And when I came home, it was waiting for me in the mailbox. So you got to love that. I really, really like it. There's a couple things that kind of irritate me about it. I'll tell you about those in a little bit, but we'll go ahead and get some specs out of the way first, and we will just plow right through my experience carrying and using this guy as we do that. So we're looking at a little bit over 7.5 inches, maybe 7 5/8 overall, something like that. It's a little smaller than a PM2, a little bigger than a Para 3, so a nice medium-sized EDC knife, which I really appreciate. Also like the really slender overall profile. It's a thin knife, both in this direction and in this direction, so this guy pretty much disappears in the pocket. Don't recall the weight, so I'm going to go ahead and grab it real quick. 3.7 ounces. So not a super lightweight, but not a tank either. This is a really, really cool looking knife. There were different versions of this guy that came out. There was a carbon fiber version, a bronze titanium version, I think, was there an all black version? I don't know. But then there was this one, which is this like tiger stripe flame titanium on this really dark bead blast. And this is the one thing I as cool as this looks, this is like my one gripe. This finish is like super, super chalky. I don't know what it is, man, but it just, as comfortable as this guy is, sometimes when I'm pulling this guy out of pocket, I just can't stand the feeling. It feels like nails on chalkboard. It's just very, very chalky feeling. I've had a little bit of chalky feeling with some titanium handle knives before, like my Spidey Chef, but it was nowhere near this chalky. I don't know. It's not really going to translate to camera, but I can tell you there's a feeling that I'm hoping goes away. I feel like it has gone away a little bit, but that might just be from me carrying and using it and getting used to it. But man, when I first touched this thing, it was just, I'm not going to lie, it was unpleasant. I didn't like it at all. It had me thinking, man, I wish I would have bought another version. But it has been a couple weeks. I have gotten kind of used to it. And I got to tell you, that tiger stripe finish just looks awesome. It looks really cool. These were OEM'd by Kubi. I think they did a phenomenal job. The fit and finish on this guy is incredible as well. We've got a really cool backspacer back there. We've got pivot collars with the satin accent to match the blade. And then we've got black T8 hardware. T8 all the way around, so clip, body screw, pivot is all T8. You guys know I absolutely love that. That is the way. But then they've also got black liners. Well, the liner on the one side for the lock bar anyway. You can see some weight relief inside there. But yeah, this black liner actually looks really cool. It kind of goes with everything else, the black hardware. So yeah, why not? I really like the way they did that. Access to the liner is really good. You can see there's a cutout there. And then we also have chamfering here on the lock bar itself. Just makes this guy really comfortable, really easy to engage, and just adds to the overall handling of this knife. You can see we've got a blade marking down there. Can't really see it because of the lighting. There we go, zoom in. 154 cm blade steel, satin finish. Really, really nice belt satin on this hollow ground blade. Man, that looks super, super mean. We got a vertical satin here and then a horizontal satin on the flat there. And this is just an excellent, excellent looking sheep's foot. You can see how thick this guy stays out to the tip there, which is really, really nice. So you do have a pokey tip. It's not extremely acute, but it doesn't need to be on a sheep's foot. This is exactly how I like it. We also have some jimping over here on the spine, so you get some really, really nice purchase. The jimping is done very well, very It's on the finer side, but it is aggressive, so you do definitely get some purchase in there. So it's not just for show. It definitely feels really good and locks you in. The handle is neutral shape, so there's really no choking up or choking back or indexing or anything like that. So pretty much any way you grab this thing, your thumb's going to land right there on that jimping, and it feels excellent. Very secure. Very happy about that. Another gripe I have is going to be this plunge grind. You can really tell when you flip the knife over this way that it just gets really thick really fast. So doesn't mean you can't sharpen it a bunch of times. It just means that you can actually already see, I'll zoom back in again, from the factory, we already have a little bit of a smile. Yeah, you can see it on this side especially. You can see how the edge is creeping up on the thickness of this blade stock here. So it's hard to see, but the grind terminates here and then it tapers back. So you've got all that thickness right behind the edge. So as you sharpen this guy away, it's just going to be really thick back there, and you're going to be banging up against there with your stone or whatever. Not a deal breaker, but it is a thing. So that being said, the lines on this guy are just undeniably cool. You have a neutral shape, like I said, but with this sheep's foot, and then the way they milled this line here into the handle, and how it matches the opening hole there, or mirrors the opening hole there, is just a really, really nice design choice. That looks super cool. Next up, we're going to talk about the action. It is amazing. This guy is running on bearings. The detent is a little bit on the lighter side. I can flick this guy out just by, doing the old whiplash thing there, but it doesn't fly out if I hold it upside down. There's no shaking. There's no detent lash or anything like that. It's just a little bit light enough to where, there you go, you can flick that out. But it is adequate for the thumb flick. It is adequate for the slow roll, reverse flick, money. It's very, very satisfying on the reverse flick. That's like what this guy was made for. You can even get other fingers, index finger. See if I can go ring finger, and then pinky even. So yeah, it's a very fun, very easy knife to deploy. It's very reliable, even with a lighter detent. It is running on bearings. And while we're looking at it this way, you can see the lockup is about 40%, somewhere in there. It's maybe like 30. So very secure lockup. Blade is rock solid. There is no, wobbling anywhere, at least on my model. And let's see, we've got an external stop pin there. So you can see that when the blade is opening, it hits that stop pin right there. Not too robust, but it is adequate, especially just for an EDC knife. This is, not so much a beater. This is a user, but a nice user, if that makes any sense. So the hollow ground blade is super slicey, very thin behind the edge. And this knife is very comfortable, very easy to handle. The only thing I don't like about the ergonomics is, because it is neutral and it's comfortable and everything, but when you're doing food processing, your knuckles do hit, the table or cutting board or whatever. You do have to come up a little bit, which is not a big deal, but there's not a ton of clearance under there with this basically straight profile. But it's not like you can't use it. It is actually still quite enjoyable to use, and I have been using it not just for food prep, but all kinds of, typical EDC tasks, breaking down boxes, opening packages, yada, yada, yada. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this knife. And Lord willing, over time, I'll continue to come on here and just give you my thoughts as they come up. And of course, I'll be dropping some shorts with some cutting footage and whatnot. And other than that, guys, I want to say thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, comment, share it, do all the things. And other than that, have a fantastic day, guys. God bless you. See ya.